Good job. So transitions in lateral work, super chains with the pole, the highest point. That is what you're after. Now, think about it. Think about building your half pass from back to front through left positioning, sitting left, left friendly flexion up high in the left rein, canter, and then walk. Good, good, good. And canter. Good. Like it. Up and hill, balance. Super. Good. And this time you're going to try and trot it. Trot walk transitions in your half time. And you're the one that's in charge of how steep it could be or how shallow it should be, depending on if you feel he's like with you and working. Good boy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good. Super. Yeah, yeah, it's okay. And walk. Good, good, good. And then trot again. Use your voice if you can to get into it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just jolting forward any old where. Good. Just pet him kind of real quick on his neck. Just a quick sharp pet. Pet him like, yeah, like almost like you bump his neck and say, it's okay, it's okay. So he can get out of his little shell. Good. Good boy, good boy. Yeah, good thing, good. Good. And all these exercises are harder than what, these are all exercises that go towards FEI horses and FEI work. So they're not necessarily like third level exercises, and you can see that. And so, you know, if he can do them, it's almost going to be that you're backing off and it's easier to do his third level stuff that you want to do for the show ring. But these exercises, you know, it's a struggle. And so then, and these are a lot of the exercises that I work on with Ray and with FEI horses that I have. But I kind of think he's just stiff and crooked enough that that's almost what it's going to take to get him unknotted. But it's also, they're hard exercises. Yep, forward, good boy. Just trot forward. Yeah, pet his neck, like just tap. Kind of give him like a big slap kind of pet on his neck. Good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just get him unstuck. Yeah, see, it's okay. Because that's the kind of stuff, you know, when I started to get into raised back, all of that crap, and even once in a while when I work something really hard, he'll do exactly that same thing. When Cassie was riding him and he was just starting out and he was in a ball and had been crooked for a good part of his life, and Albert would have her on a circle and he was just like, geez, can you just stay in flexion for the entire circle? And she just would ride the circle but not keep that flexion in. When she kept the flexion one time for all circle, he got so bent out of shape and he just started hopping around. And then Albert said, just put the reins in one hand and whack him. And she did, and she whacked him. He jumped straight up in the air and threw himself on the ground. And then he's like, what the heck is that? And that was right before she went to the World Cup. Yeah, he was in a big ball. So I'm very familiar with this type of stuff, you know. The horse has been holding himself too much as a unit, a little bit stiff and crooked, and you have to be patient, but you have to keep track of what's going on and what deals you're making and what you need and what you want to have. And you do have to kind of keep working through it, otherwise you'll make a line in the sand. But it's not a fight. It's just like trying to figure out how you can get what you need, which is forward through the bend. You know, forward, up, and out, off the shoulders, through the bend. So your brain has to kind of, you don't have to always do it the same way, the same exercise. There's many, many different ways that you can unlock a horse's shoulders and get them forward and back and get them relaxed in themselves. And then just do a little post and trot with his neck down and put his neck down and wiggle him around. Sometimes just to get him off. Oh, that was good there though. That beginning part of that half pass was quite nice. Good. Good. And then the more you know how sometimes in the bend and the sideways that your connection isn't quite real, right? It's a little bit floating. When you get his neck down and say, now I would like to get a little more real feel in those reins, that you can put his neck down and feel him, but not that he gets dull or heavy, but he's really connected to you, and that you can really get that feeling of being able to wiggle your fingers in his pole, and that he stays with you, huh? Good. You'd be like a little Dutch rider and just half pass for days until he gets himself unknotted, and your reins work like Dutch reins. Shoulders leading. There. there, and up on the left rein. So always think that when you, especially when you change flexion in a half pack or do a zigzag like that, you've got to kind of get up and into the new bending with his shoulder and his pull. Good. Good. Up and in. And just play with that right rein, upward and inward. Yeah, it's basically your right rein is saying upward and inward, your left leg saying, and go on over there. And go on over there. And other parts of you try to keep that very quiet, so he's not hearing from too much of you while he's trying to do his hard things. So relax the right rein and up and in on the left rein. Good. Up and in. Super, super. Good, 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 good. 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 That one was better, huh? Yeah. And that was a nice compromise that you made to post instead of sit, because that's one less thing he has to worry about, you know? Good. Up. Yeah, get his pole up. If you kick on him when his pole is down, he's going to be limited to how much he could get up in the air. So it's a little bit, you save your kick until you feel like his pole is up and he's supple in the jaw on the pole and he's ready to go. But get his pole up high till the top of his neck is not the highest part. That bridle, that leather part of his bridle behind his ear, that needs to be the tallest part when you want to do anything meaty before you kick on him. Because it's almost like, you know, he has to go up a hill in front of you. And if his head and his position starts out down a hill, he'll go down the hill quicker and faster. Try the big trot again, but take time to set him up. So he knows, bump him up, get that pole, wait, 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 yeah. Get him up more, face up even more than that. And actually I want him to be up and just a little bit like supple up there. So try to get him up and supple in the pole as you go across the short side. Up higher, higher, there, up there, and now just supple that a bit. But if he just goes back down instead of suppling, I mean, it's an answer, but it's not that answer. So he's got to get kind of supple up there. Figure out how on the snaffle rein you can get his pole up, and then he can just supple himself in a little bit towards you without dropping his pole. That's the hard part. There, good, up and supple up there. Then he's on the bit, up there. On the bit up there. Not that he says, I only am on the bit if I get to put my pole and shoulders down. You say, no, no, you can be on the bit up there. There's a great little spot that your hand can fit in up there. Good, that's better already. Good, feel it? But if he drops his pole or locks his pole into you, work your way in there with little nice fingers, but get his pole up, go on the diagonal now, and take small steps with his pole up. Pole up, wait, small steps, pull up, small steps. So, and then right when you feel that he's up, he gives him the pole, kick him right at that instant, relax him and kick him. And do that again. Good, bring him back, up in the pole, supple in the pole, and then right at that point where he almost feels like he's in that little scary spot, you have to kick him forward. Yeah, and you want to get it done before he gets himself in a ball, but that's your window. And the deal that you would make and the give you would make when you go to the show ring is that you're going to let him have his pole down a little bit for now. But your work at home is you're going to say, you know, I've got to be able to get him on the bit up here, and that's what he hates. So just pull the highest point. You try to get him on the bit, and he's got to balance off his shoulders. And as soon as he feels it, he's like, never. There, good. Good. And it just will feel weird to your perspective there, but it's good. You know, Kathy's bidding you some, and she's got eyes on the ground. She can tell you and say, hey, actually do, because you can see that when she has him on the bit up there, that that's where he needs to be. But I know when you're riding him up there, it feels weird as hell, and he also feels uncomfortable about it. So, good boy. Good boy. And eventually, yes, and even canter and walk, he has to learn to be on the bit with his pole the highest point. But it's careful up there. It's like really careful fingers and careful suppling up there. Because you can use a stronger rein when he's down a little bit lower. When he's up, you have to have finesse. When he's up in the pole like that, you have to have finesse fingers to work it. Yeah. Ball sitting up in the pole, supple in the pole. Good boy, doesn't matter. You can feel it. You know, it's not always that you want to ride good. You just feel what you have and fix it. Feel it and fix it. Up and supple. Good, 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 good. Yeah, stay relaxed. That's it. Him running into himself. Good. And sometimes, even if they're not counting, you can do lots of changes because it helps to loosen the shoulders. You know, I did some the other day with him too, just jumping around doing like random changes. Good, just to tell him, get supple, get up, because it will help to supple him and loosen his shoulders too. And it gives him something to do. Good. Under your butt, up under your seat, up and supple in the pole. Up in the pole, but supple up there. Riding hind feet underneath your seat. Riding the shoulders up and out his feet. Good. Good, good. Yeah. Keep supple. Yeah. And stay relaxed and calm. Just kind of keep quietly riding him to the front. Keep getting good. Pretty changes. Just say, yeah, just keep getting to the front, getting to the front. Good, yeah. Good. Up and supple. Yeah, that was a pretty change. Up and it was expressive. Did you feel it? Yeah. Good. Up in the pole and supple in the pole and under your butt. Good. Good. Yeah, up there. Yeah, sit tall, supple up. Good, good, good. Good. Yep. Yeah. And each one, even if he doesn't get as supple as you want, but there'll be moments where you feel, I got a little bit in where I want to go. I got a little bit more through that pole. I got a little bit more up through the shoulders. Got him a little there. I got him a little bit more over his back up here. Yeah. Up. Good boy. Good. And then go up and sideways now. Get him up and ride sideways. And supple him a little bit. And try to work through the pole up there, even as your leg sends him over. Just keep wiggling the fingers. Not that you have to do it now and tell him, I'm just loose, I'm just working in here. You know, that your hands aren't a trap and he's not stuck anywhere, but you still want him to get unlocked in that pole. And you want him to get in high flexion with the pole, the highest point, whichever way you're going. Up and supple, good. Yeah, and work through that elastic right arm, suppling through. Good job. Move the shoulder, good. Good, good boy. Up, bring the shoulder, bring the shoulder, bring the shoulder. Up the hill, supple, up there. Good, up and supple, now left rein. Feel that snapple, relax the right, good and supple. Get over left. Up, yeah, it's okay. Nice little ones there, huh? It's okay. Yeah. Up and supple, so yeah, you'll just have to keep feeling your way through that pole. And it's good that you have the right attitude, that you don't get mad at him, you know, because it's not anything against you. It's his own self, you know, it's his body stuff. And he doesn't know what the plan is, and he thinks, why can't he do a crooked half pattern? Why can't he stay locked in the pole? He's still, you know, still going sideways, but you have to more and more keep trying to make him more balanced, more supple, more up in front of you. Good, yeah. That's his dad. Okay, relax and just let him have a long range for a second. Pet him. Pet his neck and pet him a bit.